Pretty effective innings the other day. I wouldn't put 5 past them. We're a little bit up against it as far as bullpen arms today, as far as availability. So hopefully he can get us at least half the game in. Carson Seymour can give us some length there too, but we're going to be down a few guys today.
All right, so there you go. There's a ball low, and it's 2-2 to Nootbaar. So it was interesting the way he put that. I wouldn't put it past him if he went as many as 5 innings. And we need him probably just to go at least that many. Here's a line drive foul down the right field line. And the count is still 2-2. There were some things between the lines there you needed to interpret the way he was putting all of that. He threw 17 pitches in the first inning. J.T. Brubaker. A lot of interesting goings-on in the Toyota out-of-town scoreboard today and tonight. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Just off the inside. Full count now to Nootbaar. 1 out, nobody on. Here in the second inning. The Cleveland Guardians did it again. They beat the Detroit Tigers 5-1 in Cleveland. And here is a swinging strike 3 on a curveball in the dirt. Dug out by Kisner. He goes over and tags out Nootbaar, who was already heading back to the dugout anyway. Second strikeout for Brubaker. 2 down. So now the Guardians, who had 8 days ago they went into Detroit 6.5 back of the Tigers. That's pretty long odds with just the final 2 weeks of the season left. Like what, 12 games? Here's a strike called to Sajese. And now they have gone ahead of them 8 days, and they've beaten them 5 times head-to-head. Now fastball pulled off the outside. 1-1 to Sajese. Cleveland, back on July the 8th, was 15.5 games behind Detroit. Swing, ground ball to third, over to his left. Schmidt's got it. The throw to first. Inning over. 6 in a row retired by Brubaker. We go to the last of the second. Eldridge will be coming up for the Giants in a 0-0.
Before he was feared on the field, Ronald Acuña Jr. was chasing wins on a different kind of field. For the Acuñas, El Béisbol was a story told in fastballs and late-night rematches. Every loading screen was a part of the strategy. Smash de botones. Smash de jonrones. That's how La Bestia was born.
PSA dove in. Do we have them graded?
We do. This is the first set of graded cards from the 2024 Topps MLB Network set.
I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
Now, they all have the same grade, or?
No.
So one of us will be like the highest graded card.
Could be. There could be multiple. So first up, we got Mark DeRosa.
Of course, D-Rose a 10 out of 10. Handsome, athletic. All right.
Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Now back to the Orange and Black on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Now the Giants into the last of the second, and here is the 20-year-old Bryce Eldridge against the 35-year-old Sonny Gray. Left-handed hitter Eldridge takes. Oh, man, that was a curve, and it was. We haven't seen anybody call that a strike for several days. The crews that have been working Giants game don't see that as a strike. That was a perfect pitcher's strike. 0-1 to Eldridge, the pitch to him. And that is low with another curveball. 1 ball, 1, kind of classic, a veteran guy who's got a good curveball facing a rookie and saying, hey, let's see if this guy can hit the curveball. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fastball off the inside, way off the inside at 91. 2-1 the count. Bryce Eldridge. A couple of hits I think would make him feel a little bit better right now. Now the pitch on the way. Swing, and it's bounced foul back behind the plate. I think the fact that he was swinging the bat well and he had a lot of good and sort of gritty at bats, battles, and made solid contact and hit some balls really well, that goes a long way, but the hits need to follow. Now he takes low and in with a cutter. And so far he has just the one hit. It was a big one at Dodger Stadium, a 3-run double off the base of the left field wall over the past weekend. But that's been his only hit. And all those hard hit balls and deep fly balls and whatnot, solidly hit. That goes only so far. The pitch now. Swing and a miss. High fastball. And there's Sonny Gray. That's a perfect pitch. Too close to take and not a very good pitch to hit. It was at the top of the strike zone, right on the outside corner. And probably would have been called strike 3 if he had not swung. So 1 down, and Sonny Gray has struck out 3 of the Giants' first 4 hitters. Now here is Casey Schmidt. Here's the pitch to him. Swing, and there's a drive in the deep left field. Way back there, still going. Off the wall. The carom is played by the left fielder Nootbaar. The throw into second, the slide, and it bounces off the glove of the second baseman Donovan and is backed up with the first baseman Burleson. It's a double for Casey Schmidt. Well, Schmidt got kind of a hanging breaking ball. He knew what to do with it. That's the Giants' first hit. First hit for anybody in this game.
It's a beautiful swing. I think for a minute Casey got into watch mode, and then he looked up and saw Nootbaar winding up to make a throw, and he had to kick in the afterburners. Made it okay.
And now Jung-Hoo Lee. Swing and a drive toward left center field. That is slicing away from the center fielder, and it falls in there. Base hit. Rounding third is Schmidt. Heading for second is Lee. He's got a double as the throw is too late there. And Schmidt comes in to score to give the Giants a 1-0 lead. Well, Victor Scott, who got tremendous speed and range, but I think he started looking at Nootbaar and wondering if Nootbaar might get to it. And I don't think that was just one of those balls that was hit to the perfect spot where neither one of them could get to it. Schmidt had to go halfway and wait to see if it would be caught or not. And then he reaccelerated to cross the plate. So Casey Schmidt with a double. Jung-Hoo Lee follows with a double. 1-0 Giants. And here is Christian Koss, and he takes 2 high for ball 1. Christian Koss, who last night had an RBI single in the 5th inning. What? Now here's the stretch and the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a high foul. We just got something from the official score that they said the run scores on an error by the center fielder, but I just don't get that. He took off. He didn't stop when he went around third, did he? I think he just kept on going. He stopped to make sure the ball fell in. That's got to be just a double and an RBI. Yeah. There's the ball too low. 2-1 the count. If the runner doesn't stop, if he stopped at third and then the guy booted it out there and then he re-accelerated, okay. And maybe he did. Maybe I just missed it. Although, what are the odds that would happen, Dave? Here's the, I don't see that out. Here's a ball outside. It's 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to watch it again. I will watch it again. I don't think it was beautifully played, but that doesn't mean it was an error.
If he starts running, then the official score has to assume he would have scored. 3-1 the count and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Koss. The cutter, and it's a full count now. Koss is hitting .400 after that RBI hit in the 5th inning last night. That made his average for the year with runners in scoring position an even .400. Now he's only had 40 official at bats. That's Small sample size, as they say. 3-2 pitch. Topped foul into the batter's box area. Let's pause for station identification on the KNBR Northern California Honda Dealers Radio Network.
This is Giants baseball. Nothing like it.
There's a long drive to right. It's headed for the bay.
On KNBR and KNBR FM, San Francisco, a Cumulus media station.
Runner at second, a run in to 1 out. 3-2 to Koss. There's the pitch. Curve, and that's just off the inside. Ball 4. When I say just off, a couple inches off the inside. Good eye there by Christian Koss. That puts 2 men on. Jung-Hoo Lee on that double with his 31st double of the year. And I think they will change that call to. And although Dave's he's doing an investigation on that. 2 men on for the Giants, 1 run in. The batter is Drew Gilbert, and a called strike curveball on the outside, the outer third, and it's 0-1. One run in, Lee at second, Koss at first. 1 strike pitch. And that's a little bit low with a changeup.
Well, watching the replay, Victor Scott did sort of half-heartedly try to grab the ball bare hand style and didn't grab it cleanly.
Now the 1-1 offering. Swung on, a hard ground ball to first. Backhanded by Burleson. He looks at second and then decides against it with Koss, who's a fast runner, hustling over there. So he runs the ball to first for the out, and both runners advance. Lee to third and Koss to second. And here comes Kisner with 2 down. What about the runner Schmidt? Did he stop?
Never stopped. Only was hesitant just to make sure, as you described it, that the ball fell in for a hit.
Yeah, so he had gone halfway, and then he ran and never stopped. That's in the instructions of the official score.
Yeah.
You can't assume he would have thrown him out. He kept running. He was waved home by Matt Williams, and he kept running. And you can't assume he would have stopped running when he never stopped. And that's all I had to say about that. I only want to spend this 1 inning talking about this. There's a ball low, and it's 2-0. We just wanted to be right. That's all. Now, timeout is taken, and the catcher, that is Pedro Pajes, runs out to the mound to talk to Gray for a Habas Law mound visit. It's a big spot here. The Giants have 1 run in and 2 runners in scoring position, and a former Cardinal, a former battery mate, on occasion anyway, of Sonny Gray, Kisner, at the plate. 2-0 count.
Sonny looked a little frustrated there. He took his hat off, wiped some sweat off his forehead, took a walk on the back slope of the mound, around the mound.
I wonder if he had moments that just like that when he was at the Ocean course at Half Moon Bay Golf Course a couple of days ago.
Yeah, maybe so. Shanked one into the ocean.
2-0 the count. The pitch comes in. Outside with a cutter. 3-0.
Hey, maybe he took a Habas Law mound visit when he was out there at Half Moon Bay.
If we'd only known about it, we could have sold that. Here's the stretch, the 3-0 pitch. Right on the outside corner. He's got such pinpoint control with that fastball, and the count is 3-1. On deck is Elliot Ramos. The Giants with a run home, trying to add on here. Now, takes his hat off as Kisner asks for his timeout. He backed out of the box, and Gray walked to the back slope of the mound. Then he walked out to the front slope. Now he's back up on top, first base edge of the pitching slab, into his stretch. 3-1 pitch. That is a ball too low. And Sonny Gray, I think, looks like he feels he got squeezed there. And he might have been, according to the StatCast, saying that was right at the knees. So now the bases are loaded. And here comes the pitching coach, Dusty Blake, to the mound to talk with Sonny Gray. Gray, he is 35 years old. It's late in the season. This is his final start of the year. And he's at 34 pitches now. And most of them in this inning. Meanwhile, we want to invite you to take batting practice on the field at Oracle Park in November. Swing for the Fences gives Giants fans the opportunity to step up to the plate. You can win prizes and snap photos during this exclusive experience. Place a deposit toward a membership to RSVP. Learn more at sfgiants.com/swing. Bases loaded. Ramos fouls one off his foot. Ouch. Bummer. And he might not have been off his foot. He reached down and started rubbing his right knee with his right hand. 0-1 the count. Ramos was just having a terrible time figuring out any of those pitches that he saw the first time up. He swung at every pitch thrown so far by Gray, and he struck out on 3 pitches in the first. And he's already behind 0-1 here. Bases loaded. Lee at third. Koss at second. Kisner at first. A run in. 1-0 Giants. The pitch. Curve outside for a ball. Good eye there by Ramos. First pitch he's taken. 1-1 the count. Gray throws. Swing and a chopper toward short. Over from third, Arenado. He throws to second in time for the force out on Kisner, and the inning is over. Giants get the 1-3 left aboard. We go to the third inning.
Sometimes your calling doesn't shout. It hums like a lullaby floating through a warm night in San Pedro. Before he could walk, El Niño had already taken his first step toward greatness. For Fernando Tatis Jr., baseball wasn't just in the house because Papa was a pro pelotero. It hung over his cradle like a promise. Desde la cuna, El Niño ya tenía swing.
Boomer is the dog. Then he looked good. I just followed his picture all the way. And there he is. Boomer's dad.
That was kind of a change from the everyday thing that we normally do as far as baseball cards are concerned.
Hey, I have a Labrador. Where's my card?
You know, a little bit different, and it turned out to be a fun experience.
It was just when the camera crew tried to leave that there was a problem. You can't leave.
Wow. Old school D-backs jersey. This is our alternate jersey that we wore on Saturdays. I was the first team to wear the new colors. They called it Sedona Red. Don't mess up that color. Every time I wore this jersey, I would wear the high socks, black jersey, black hat. I just thought it was a really smooth look, and this is one that I'll never forget.
.org and join over 1 million proud donors making a real difference. That's Cars with a K.
Now back to Giants Gloves Poppin' on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Here we go to the third inning. The Giants ahead now 1-0 as we come to you live from the Hawaiian Airlines broadcast booth. The 7th place hitter, the catcher, Pedro Pajes, to lead off against JT Brubaker, and with the play-by-play, Dave Fleming.
We'll see.
If you're able, if you're of a mind.
4-1.
What?
Strike one.
So you're going with the slow motion thing. You're kind of into that.
I'll probably get out of that now. Just tested it out for a couple pitches. It's amazing how it does feel a little different tonight, even though we knew the Giants' odds of making the playoffs the last several days were almost zero. There's a curveball in for a strike, 1-2. Tonight's the first game where they're playing with zero chance. They have been officially eliminated. 1-2. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. Man, he made Pedro Paez look bad with that curveball. Beautifully thrown. Third strikeout for Brubaker. And out number 1 here in the third inning.
I think Giants fans showed themselves these last 2 nights as being, talk about having, never losing hope and never losing faith. I think a lot of those people, they such a big crowd last night, and part of it was just, they thought, man, this could be the miracle week, a big comeback in store.
Here's a strike to Jordan Walker. Fastball from Brubaker. Last night's crowd was amazing. There were 37,000 people here last night. Walker swings. It's a high fly ball left center field, and it is carrying well all the way onto the warning track. Jung-Hoo Lee makes a catch. That off the bat looked like just kind of a lazy fly ball, but Walker's strong. He swings hard. It's warm, and the ball's flying tonight.
And he did hit it 105 miles per hour. But he hit it very high in the air.
Way up in the air. Here's Victor Scott. 1-0 Giants. JT Brubaker pitches. Scott takes just a little bit high, ball 1. You know, we just had a little meeting and decided, because Giants fans have been so impressive, especially this week, especially last night. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. We're going to have Fan Appreciation Weekend this weekend.
Oh, great. Good idea.
We've drummed up a T-shirt giveaway. It's in production right now. 40,000 fans on Saturday get the Rafael Devers T-shirt. We called Camus Vineyards. They're going to sponsor it. Here's a little bloop off the bat of Scott into shallow left field, and it drops for the first Cardinals hit of the game. 2-out single for Scott. sfgiants.com/promotions.
Cool. That's Saturday. That's a 105 game Saturday. And the Friday night game, before the game, get here early, they will announce the winner.
Here's a fly ball to deep right field, and it is off the bricks. Gilbert's going to play the carom. Scott tearing around third. He's going to score. Gilbert's throw relayed back into Koss. Donovan into second, and no shock, another double for Brendan Donovan. Amazing. Man, he's just killing the Giants these last 2 games, and the Cardinals have tied this game at 1. Drew Gilbert played that beautifully, like he's been playing right field forever. He read it correctly that it was not going to be catchable, but it probably wasn't going out. He angled himself to get the perfect carom off the bricks. You could not possibly have played that better than Gilbert did. The ball hit right on the eye of Levi's landing. Now a swing by Herrera and a drive down the right field line. That one goes foul and into that party suite. The loft down the right field line. Strike 1. Brendan Donovan last night had 4 doubles in 1 game, and now he's got another one tonight to drive in a run. Whatever the Giants pitching plan is against Brendan Donovan, that needs to be crumpled up and thrown in the garbage forever.
Doesn't seem to be working.
Not at all. Here's a soft liner, and that one's going to be into left field. That's another hit. Not hit very hard, but it falls. Both Adames and Schmidt tried to get over and catch that soft line drive. Herrera, though, knocks in Donovan as he comes in to score, and it's 2-1 Cardinals. Just a little real soft, loopy line drive on a pitch that was way inside. But there was nothing that Schmidt or Adames could do. Good effort, especially by Adames. So now the Cardinals have gone ahead 2-1. Swing and a miss by Burleson. On a high fastball, it's 0-1. The veteran, longtime Giants killer, Nolan Arenado on deck, hoping to have a shot with 2 down. This all started 2 outs, nobody on. Burleson fouls this one off to the left. That's Who's on Deck, sponsored by TimberTech. TimberTech decking and railing, everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. 0-2 the count to Alec Burleson. The pitch. Ground ball hit to second. Koss has it. Short throw to first in plenty of time, and that's it. The side is retired, but 3 straight 2-out hits, including another double from Brendan Donovan. And the Cardinals go ahead 2-1 midway through 3 in Sanford.
Sometimes your calling doesn't shout. It hums like a lullaby floating through a warm night in San Pedro. Before he could walk, El Niño had already taken his first step toward greatness. For Fernando Tatis Jr., baseball wasn't just in the house because Papa was a pro pelotero. It hung over his cradle like a promise. Desde la cuna, El Niño ya tenía swing.
All right, so here's the Mets home jersey. To me, growing up in New York, also a very iconic jersey. The blue pinstripes that represented the Dodgers. Got the orange outline, which represented the Giants, which are the 2 teams that left New York. And then subsequently, the Mets were created. You know, my parents were Mets fans growing up, and this was the jersey that I also dreamed of wearing.
Tickets with the purchase of 1 adult seat. Visit tickets.gostanford.com to lock in your spot.
This is Miller and Fleming on KNBR FM and AM, the sports leader.
Ball 1 to Rafael Devers, last of the third. Giants had a 1-0 lead, but now it's Cardinals 2, Giants 1. Devers, who grounded out his first time up, followed by Adames and Bryce Eldridge here in the home half of the third inning. Devers takes this one off the inside, 2-0. Another Sonny Gray off-speed pitch. That was a changeup. Deep breath for Sonny Gray. A compact motion. Comes home and misses outside, 3-0. Meanwhile, on the Toyota out-of-town scoreboard, the game has gone final in Cincinnati. Teams traded runs in the 10th inning. Then the Pirates scored their automatic runner in the 11th, and the Reds could not score theirs. So it's over. Pirates win 4-3. Very damaging loss for Cincinnati. They're just running out of days. 1 game behind the Mets. Now the good news for the Reds is the Mets are trailing big in the 8th inning. It's now 10-2 Cubs. Here Devers swings, hits a high drive, deep right field. This one is gone and into San Francisco Bay. There's the first one for Rafi Devers. His first splash home run, and it ties this game at 2. With the night sky up above, that was like a moonshot, a towering fly ball. He just hit it so hard it kept going over the wall, over the arcade, over the port walk, and out into the bay. That was pretty cool to watch. And they just showed it up on the video board. If you're in the bowl of the ballpark, here's a strike to Adames. You can't tell for sure as it's happening live. So they just put it up on the big board, and that was the second reaction. Everybody was wondering, and it did. It made it in there. Here's a ball from Gray to Adames, 1-1. So Devers hits his 34th home run of the year, and he gets the first of what we assume are going to be many splash home runs. Here's a ground ball to short, gobbled up by Sajasi, and he throws out Adames. 108 miles an hour off the bat A fastball up and in, and man, Devers, he turned on it and just hit a majestic, beautiful, soaring fly ball. And right into the bay. Bryce Eldridge, he drives one to center field. Going back on it is Scott, and this one is off the bottom of the wall. Eldridge rumbling towards second, and he'll make it in there with a double. Well, he just hit it with too much topspin because he obliterated that ball. Otherwise, he would have had his first big league home run. Instead, he has his second major league double. Man, did he crush that thing. Victor Scott covers a lot of ground in center field, and he gave up on that one in a hurry. He knew he was not going to get there.
110 miles an hour off his bat.
Wow. It's exciting to see when he makes contact what happens. Bryce Eldridge just generates enormous power. 2-2 the score. Strike one to Casey Schmidt. Very borderline call. To Casey, who doubled his first time up and scored the first Giants run. Now a breaking ball. Check swing and ruled a swing. Oh, my goodness. That didn't look like a swing to me. Jansen Visconti wants to go home, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong. He had a better view of it than I do, but that did not look like a swing. 0-2 the count. Well, pretty exciting. Devers and Eldridge, you can dream about those two doing what they've done in this inning for a long while for the Giants. Now a fastball off the outside.
The home run into the bay by Devers, 108 miles an hour off his bat, 376 feet. A soaring, majestic blast.
Now a swing and a miss by Schmidt. And that's strike three. And he's unhappy because he thinks that the second strike in that at bat just was unjust.
Eldridge hit his ball 110 and just a line shot, as you so aptly described it. It got out there so fast that Scott, with all of his speed and range, had no chance to catch up to it. And his went 390 feet.
Jung-Hoo Lee takes high, ball one. The Giants have two guys who ultimately, I mean, you got Judge, you got Ohtani, you got Schwarber, you got a few others. But the natural abilities of Eldridge and Devers, that could be the best hard-hitting combo in baseball. Now a breaking ball, and that one ruled a swing on appeal. Jung-Hoo Lee went around. It's 1-1. It's pretty exciting. Runner at second, Eldridge. Not great speed. I mean, that's the one thing about Bryce. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Over to scoop it up is Burleson, the first baseman. He'll flip underhand style to Sonny Gray covering for the out. But the Giants tie the game on the first splash home run for Rafael Devers. We go to the fourth. It's 2-2, Giants and the Cardinals on the KNBR Northern California Honda dealers.
Before he was feared on the field, Ronald Acuña Jr. was chasing wins on a different kind of field. For the Acuñas, el béisbol was a story told in fastballs and late-night rematches. Every loading screen was a part of the strategy. Smash de botones. Smash de jonrones. That's how La Bestia was born.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
At HawaiianAirlines.com to book your vacation now.
This is Miller and Fleming on KNBR FM and AM, the sports leader.
Nolan Arenado for the Cardinals against Brubaker, still in for the Giants, and ball one outside. Giants have tied the game up. It's 2-2, inning number 4. Devers with a splash home run. Here's a ball low, slider. 2-0 to Arenado. And it is cool. The Giants here in the ballpark, they wait until in between innings before they show the splash counter ticking up one. Now a swing and a ball pulled foul. And they put the camera on the splash hit counter out in the right field wall, put that up on the big video board, and then they very dramatically add a number to the total. And it flashes, and everybody gives a big cheer. 2-1 pitch is a called strike. It's 2-2. Meanwhile, the folks who are sitting down below us, just right below us, somebody just dropped a bag of peanuts right on those people from up above. Here's a ground ball, left side. Schmidt over to his left. Fields throws to first for the out. Arenado retired. So I was a little distracted by that because everybody just in front of us was staring up like, where did that come from? Because it was far enough out into the section where it was like, did somebody just chuck that thing? Didn't feel like it just fell out of somebody's hands. Not good. Everybody's okay. Strike one to Lars Nootbaar. What was the line in Mrs. Doubtfire? A drive-by fruiting. Here's a changeup outside. 1-1. This was a drive-by peanutting. The pitch low to Nootbaar. Curveball from Brubaker. All right, I'll move on. I won't let that distract me any longer. 2-2 the score. Giants and the Cardinals. The pitch. That one is in there for a called strike. We were starting to give a couple updates on the Toyota out-of-town scoreboard. The Pirates ended up winning in 11 4-3 over Cincinnati. The Mets are going to lose, although they still have a few outs of life. It's 10-3 Cubs in the 8th inning. Here's a pitch that's low. 3-2 to Nootbaar. So tonight could be a huge night for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are playing the Dodgers once again. They'll have another game in that series tomorrow. Giants, or the D-backs and the Dodgers. They're tied at 1 in the bottom of the 3rd. Now a swing and a foul straight back. Still full 3-2. Diamondbacks had dramatic come-from-behind win last night. Kind of gave them some real life. Diamondbacks came into tonight tied with the Reds, 1 game behind the Mets. 3-2 pitch is low, ball 4. So Brubaker, after all that, walks Nootbaar. 1 out base runner. That's the first walk he's given up. Pitch number 55 for Brubaker. So who holds the tiebreaker between the Diamondbacks and the Mets if those two teams were to tie?
The season series, they went 3-3.
Uh-oh.
So you have to go to the next tiebreaker.
Ooh. What's that, division record?
Yes, within your own division. Well, so far, the Mets are below 500 against the East. They're 24-25. And they've got 3 over the weekend with Miami.
Here's a ground ball past the dive of Schmidt into left field off the bat of Sajasi to second and stopping there Nootbaar. The Cardinals have a little something going now in the 4th inning. 2 on, 1 out.
Arizona against the West so far. Let's see. I'm having to add it up. They're 6-5 versus the Dodgers, and they're playing them right now. 5-5 with the Padres. They finished with the weekend against the Padres. And 7-6 against the Giants, 8-5 against Colorado. So what's that? 15-11, 20-16, 26-21 so far. But the games they still, I think, 5 more games in the division.
But likely, if they play well enough through the weekend to tie the Mets, likely they would have a better division record than the Mets, I would think.
Yeah, right now they do.
Right now they do, and if it ends up in a tie, it's not guaranteed, I guess, yet. But
well, if they beat L.A. tonight, then they'll be tied.
Correct. Here's Pedro Pages, and they would own the tiebreaker. Fastball off the outside, ball one.
They're in a 1-1 right now, top of the fourth. Ryan Nelson, who's been really good, especially the second half, as a starter for Arizona, and Snell going for L.A.
Here's a strike to Pages on the outside. Game started with last night's starting pitcher hitting a triple. There's only one guy that can be. Shohei Ohtani did it to lead off the game and scored a run. Then the Diamondbacks tied it up. So we'll keep you posted on that one on our Toyota out-of-town scoreboard. Toyota, let's go places. Here's a swing. Got a miss by Pages. He chased a slider off the outside, 1-2.
Ketel Marte had a double in the first inning, and then later in the inning, it was Moreno who got him home with a sacrifice fly.
Uh-oh, that score's just changed. Andy Pages, not Pedro Pages, who's hitting for the Cardinals right now. Andy Pages just hit a 2-run homer. Here's a ball in the dirt. It kicks away from Kisner. Runners break. Kisner picks it up, throws low to third, and Schmidt totally saves him by diving and keeping that one from rolling down the left field line. A crazy play by Kisner there. After the ball kicked away, a wild pitch, which is big play, moves Nootbaar to third and Sajazi to second. Takes away the double play possibility. But Kisner almost compounded it. You can't blame him for wanting to make a play, but he made kind of a stumbling off-balance throw, and Casey Schmidt made a great save. Now a swing and a miss, strike three. Hard slider from Brubaker. Pages strikes out swinging, 2 down.
He threw a couple of those in the first inning to Herrera. Good slider to the outside, and then a sharp late break out of the strike zone.
2 down. Jordan Walker swings and misses at that slider. I haven't looked at the you can actually get all the StatCast data, the movement profile, but just to the naked eye, it looks more like you hear Robbie Ray talk about his slider, Matt Gage talk about his slider, like the gyro slider that's not going to break a lot side to side. It's more going to drop down, real tight spin. And it can be an effective pitch. Different pitchers have different ideas about what they want that slider to do. Here's another one to Walker. This time he doesn't swing. Ball one.
Yeah, Tarek Skubal was so impressed with Robbie Ray's slider after Robbie Ray contacted him and asked him to show him how he throws his great changeup. Skubal picked his brain to find out about how he throws that slider.
That was the trade. Here's a pitch off the outside, 2-1.
That I know that because that was part of the interview that you did with both of them when the Giants played in Detroit. On what was it, Dave Fleming Around the Park.
2-1 pitch. Walker ground ball, foul, third base side. DC's nominating that for the Around the Park shows of the year. The Robbie Ray, Tarek Skubal exchange.
Well, is that going to be a TV show or with all the nominees?
Yeah, there's a red carpet ceremony. It's a whole big thing.
And then Around the Park with Kruk and Kite for the home games. What about them? Do they have some nominations?
Sure they do. The day game after a night game show that they annually do. The Cardinals and Giants always fight. They do that show every year.
They have some perennials.
Oh, yeah. They have a few recurring themes. 2-2 pitch. Off the outside, a fastball, 3-2.
It is a different show. You interview somebody, and you get, in that case, you did some footwork. You got the two guys. It was kind of a story from the offseason. Ray coming up with that slider from Skubal, and it's a different show.
Walker swings. It's a fly ball to center field. Jung-Hoo Lee underneath it, reaches up, makes a catch. And through all of that, JT Brubaker, nice job. Worked around the walk, the hit, the wild pitch. Cardinals don't.
Some call it orgullo. Others call it el corazón taíno. But sometimes the journey is set on track with your ancestors cheering you on. For Francisco Lindor, el ting-ting de la plena was the first roar in the stands. Every at-bat was an encore. Every strike of the drum echoed like a promise. El destino no siempre avisa, pero llega con flow.
Biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, you know, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
Now, representing the organization, Jim Leland and AJ Hinch are presenting Miggy with a customized set of cleats made by renowned artist Marco Turzo, made from several significant baseballs from Miguel's career. The cleats are presented on a base representing the time he spent at both third and first base in his career.
Launching a kayak or a paddleboard off your own deck and heading over to my favorite place, the Boathouse, for lunch or dinner at that restaurant. Over 4,000 households have already made the move to River Islands, with 15 neighborhoods priced from the $600,000 to over $1 million. There's more variety in home styles and sizes than ever before. In fact, the only thing missing at River Islands is you. Start your tour today at riverislands.com. Isn't it time for you to discover the islands?
Do you know about custom lens replacement? Hey, it's Dr. Craig Bindi. CLR from Laser Eye Center means no glasses, no contacts, no readers or bifocals. Plus, you'll never develop cataract.
No glasses, no readers. Free consultation. LaserEyeCLR.com. Listen to Giants baseball on your smart speaker. Just say play KNBR.
Ball 1 to Christian Koss. Last of the fourth. Giants 2, Cardinals 2. Koss, then Gilbert, then Kisner. Bottom part of the order for the Giants against Sonny Gray. Koss hits a fly ball to right field. Walker going back, still going back, and he'll make the catch. No! He drops it. Koss to second, and he'll stop there. Jordan Walker back onto the warning track in front of the second archway. Had the ball on his glove, in his glove, something like that, and he dropped the ball. Wow. I know there's a lot going on out there with the fence and the bricks and the padding and the big wall and the fans up above. And this is a hard right field to play, but Walker, he just dropped that ball right off the heel of his glove. So he gets charged with an error, a two-base error. Koss at second, nobody out, and Drew Gilbert takes a curveball for strike one. Gilbert grounded out his first time up tonight. He's been showing some frustration at the plate lately. The pitch. Low. Change up for ball one. You can create your perfect 2026 season with a Giants flexible ticket membership. There's all kinds of stuff to consider, so best thing to do is just check it out. Flexible memberships start at $199, sfgiants.com/memberships. There's a called strike. Perfect changeup at the knees on the outside corner. Gilbert did not like that call. But StatCast, next year, if he had challenged that, he would be wrong. StatCast thought that was a strike. One-two pitch. Gilbert hits a foul. That one was off the outside. Another breaking ball, this time the slower curveball. And Gilbert fouled it off to the left. Go ahead run in scoring position for the Giants here in the last of the fourth. 1-2. Gilbert takes this sweeper in the dirt. 2-2. Off day tomorrow for the Giants, and then the Rockies are here over the weekend for the final 3 games of the season. Again, that website, if you want to be here for all the stuff going on, Fan Appreciation Weekend, sfgiants.com/fan appreciation. Gilbert, ground ball to the right side. Donovan has it and throws out Gilbert, but he moves Cos to third. So that's a good play. Kind of giving yourself up, a team at bat. Pull the ball on the ground and get the guy over.
Productive out, they call it. And I think ideally he doesn't want to make a productive out. He wants to knock the guy in. The guy on deck is Kisner, who's a right-handed hitter, but it does bring the infield in and sort of enhances Kisner's chance to get one through that infield if he can make contact.
Now a curve misses high. Kisner walked his first time up. So let's see if Kisner can make his teammate look really good. Gilbert gets the guy over with the productive out, and now Kisner get him in.
Yeah, because he doesn't need a hit necessarily to knock in a run here. Fly ball could get it done.
1-0, fly ball, right field. That's going to get it done. Walker going back. He'll square up and make the catch. This time he actually caught it. Tagging from third, Cos. He comes in to score. That's a good fundamental baseball by the Giants there. The sac fly makes it 3-2 Giants.
Old-timey, scientific inside baseball.
Yeah, have the other team drop a ball and then go to work after that.
Well, I mean, you get the guy at second with nobody out, one way or the other, however you do it. Get him over and get him in.
Here's a ground ball, base hit up the middle. Elliot Ramos was not going to wait around this time against Sonny Gray. Had not looked all that comfortable against Gray his first two times up. This time, a 2-out single, and it brings up Rafi Devers, who hit one into the bay his last time up. Devers, really impressive splash hit, home run into the water. The pitch. That one is low, ball one. Devers, it took him a while to kind of settle in with the Giants, and the power numbers weren't there over, say, the first month he put on a Giants uniform, but he's got 19 Giants home runs now. A curveball off the outside, 2-0. Devers with 34 overall, 15 with the Red Sox, 19 with the Giants. He's hit 15 of those since August 1st. So he had 4 in the first roughly 6-7 weeks that he was with the Giants. 2-0. That's a low strike. Devers didn't think so. He's unhappy with that call. 2-1. 3-2 Giants have gone ahead with a run here in the fourth. Adames on deck. Sonny Gray. 2-1 pitch. High strike given. So the low strike and then the high strike. A fastball. It's 2-2. Still 3-1 Dodgers there in the bottom of the fourth now in Arizona. Pivot, throw to first, back standing, Elliot Ramos. The Rockies, who will be coming here over the weekend, playing up in Seattle tonight. 6-1 Mariners. What's their magic number? 2 to clinch the division. They could do it tonight. The A's are hosting the Astros in Sacramento. It's 1-0 A's. Now a swing and a miss by Devers on the curveball. That's strike 3. So the Giants manufacture a run. They get just the one. And we will go to...
Before he was feared on the field, Ronald Acuna Jr. was chasing wins on a different kind of field. For the Acuñas, el béisbol was a story told in fastballs and late-night rematches. Every loading screen was a part of the strategy. Smash de botones. Smash de jonrones. That's how La Bestia was born.
Can we recognize the athleticism of the elite security down there?
Unbelievable. I give them 10 down. They're good.
Yeah. Look at that.
I mean, come on, Joe Ryan.
It's all part of the experience.
This is an experience tonight.
Oh, look out. In between the legs of Jose Altuve, almost clipped his buddy in the on-deck circle.
Hey, that'll wake you up.
And Fortes is able to hang on to the foul tip.
Fortes getting a little help from the love handle there.
For your best bet every week and for free picks every day, text the word WIN to 545454. That's WIN to 545454.
Now back to Giants Gloves Poppin' on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Carson Seymour out of the Giants bullpen. 5th inning, 3-2 Giants. Here's John Miller.
Big right-handed throws. Ooh. To a cutter on the inside corner and call ball 1 to Victor Scott. Seymour, big guy, throws hard, a hard sinker, delivers. And there's that sinker almost to the same spot. Although, you know, Dave, it might have been an inch more. That inside edge, at least on the StatCast, showed it as being right through the middle of the baseball. Now the 1-1 pitch. And that's a bouncer foul back behind the plate. And every time I see that, I always think, of course, the umpire doesn't see that. He's just got his ability to read balls and strikes. He doesn't see that StatCast box that we see.
I think this guy, Paul Clemens, tonight, he's calling it like StatCast is.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 1 away. That was right at the knees. Pretty nice pitch. 2-seam movement. And that talk about a sinker, that had some sink to it. So 1 down.
It's the thing about Seymour is he just has to have some more precision with his stuff. He's got good stuff, but he gets punished when he leaves pitches out over the middle of the plate, and it's just happened too often.
Now the leadoff man, Donovan, and it's low and inside with a cutter. Ball 1.
And Seymour's pitched 33 innings in the big leagues this year and given up 9 home runs.
There's the rub. 3-2 Giants, 5th inning. And there's a sinker too far in at 95 miles an hour, 2-0. Giants 3, Cardinals 2. Brubaker, I think ideally Bob Melvin liked to see him pitch the 5th inning as well, but he had thrown 68 pitches already. There's a dribbler foul just off to the right. He hit it first before it started rolling away off his foot or leg. Ouch. Donovan has grounded out to second. A diving great play was turned in by Koss to rob him, going toward the middle with a dive in the 1st inning. And then he hit a double off the wall in right to knock in a run his next time. Now he tries to check his swing on a low slider. Didn't do it. Clemens, the plate umpire, made the ruling himself and said that was a swing, my man. 2-2 the count. And we see the replay, and we see why he made that call. 2-2 pitch. Bounced foul on a cutter just off to the right. Seems like he's throwing that cutter a little bit more frequently here so far. These first 2 left-handed hitters. Cutter can be a really wicked pitch to a left-handed batter, especially. Herrera, a right-handed hitter, on deck. 1 out, nobody on. There's a swing, ground ball to short. Over to his right to glove it. Here's the high throw to first. And a guy who can go up very high to get a throw like that. Eldridge makes the backhanded catch, keeping his foot on the bag. It helps on a really high throw to be 6'7" tall.
It's a good reason why he can be a real asset over there as he gets more experience. That's some wingspan.
Throw was high and a little bit wide toward right field, but he kept that foot on there. Well done. That's a little bit of a security blanket for an infielder, knowing that they can have a rushed throw to get a fast runner, and you got such a huge target to try to haul the throw in for you. There's ball 1 now to Herrera.
I guess the big test will be as he gets tougher in between hops and short hops.
Herrera, big chopper down the third base side. Foul.
Because you got to be good at those to be a true security blanket like you're talking about. But if he can do that, then you got both, right? Then you can scoop in the dirt and do what he just did.
And when Brandon Bent was what? Was he 6'5"? He was a pretty big target over there and was really good at those low throws. 1-1 pitch off the outside with the slider at 89. 2-1. JT Snow, he might have been the best I ever saw. And I know in New York, people who saw the Bay Area native Keith Hernandez every day said he was the best they ever saw. 2-1 pitch. That's up and away for a ball. 3-1. We're in the fifth inning. The Giants leading 3-2. 2 down, nobody on. Burleson, a left-handed hitter, on deck. Herrera standing in, and he takes. And that's just off the outside. Ball 4. And let's pause now for station identification. This is the KNBR, Northern California Honda Dealers Radio Network.
This is the flagship of Giants baseball. Double play! KNBR and KNBR FM San Francisco, the sports leader.
Two down, runner at first. Here's Burleson, and he takes a cutter off the inside. Ball 1. By the way, Dave, I wanted to mention that the fifth inning, that's where we are now, is sponsored by Land Rover Marin, home of the simple price, simple process, because it's the right thing to do. And there's a line shot right to the shortstop, Adames, who starts to go up onto his tiptoe and make the catch.
Some call it orgullo. Others call it el corazón taíno. But sometimes the journey is set on track with your ancestors cheering you on. For Francisco Lindor, el ting-ting de la plena was the first roar in the stands. Every at-bat was an encore. Every strike of the drum echoed like a promise. El destino no siempre avisa, pero llega con flow.
This is going to be one of those games that you're going to have to fight the elements. Wow! And I don't think that'll be the last bat toss we see tonight.
I would imagine not. As he slid behind Neto, took out his legs, but Neto held onto the ball.
Check out what our cameras caught. That's right. Smacking himself in the face. He really likes to pump himself up and make himself angry.
Oh, he used the hat. That's pretty nice. Yeah, take a bow. All right, absolutely.
Abbess Law, they will fight to make it right.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote Renter's Insurance at Progressive.com.
This is Miller and Fleming on KNBR FM and AM, the sports leader.
Now the Giants' last of the fifth inning. Willie Adames leads off against Sonny Gray. And a curve in the dirt for ball 1. Adames has struck out swinging and grounded out to short. He's 0 for 2. He's the third place hitter, to be followed by Bryce Eldridge hitting cleanup tonight, and then Casey Schmidt. Gray winds, delivers. Swing and a ground ball right along the third base side. Just foul. Well, the first bounce after it passed over the bag, it was not a big bouncer. It was hit. It was on the ground, and it just hopped past the bag from up here. And we have the worst angle to see it, in addition to being fairly far away from third. But from here, it looked like it passed over the bag. Then the next bounce was foul, but third base umpire Malachi Moore, who was right there looking straight down the line, thought that it passed just to the foul side of the bag. 1-1 the count. Here it is. Swing and a miss. That was a curveball over the plate, and it's 1-2. Giants 3 runs, 5 hits with no errors. The Cardinals 2 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors. Infield swung toward the third base side for the right-handed hitting Adames. Now the kick, the pitch. Fastball too high. 93 miles an hour. Tried to tantalize him, maybe get him to chase a ball up out of the zone, but he refused. 2-2 the count. 3-2 Giants, last half of the fifth inning. Pitch on the way. Swing and a soft liner over the middle into center field. Base hit. He hit it right between the shortstop and the third baseman, who were both swung way over, playing him to pull. The shortstop, Sajese, was away from short, more toward third. And the second baseman, Donovan, was as far up the middle as it is allowed now. And Adames gets his first hit of the night for the Giants. And that's the Giants' sixth hit of the game. So here is Bryce Eldridge. And he takes a called strike. And there was a changeup, a little bit off the inside, according to the StatCast. It was close. Not a good pitch to hit one way or the other. 0-1 the count. He blasted one at 110 miles an hour over the head of Scott and up against the wall in center field his last time. Here's a curveball, swung on and missed, strike two. Change up, and then the curveball. Now the pitch, and the curve comes back over the outside. Strike three call. Maybe more of the slider on that one. The last time he threw him a fastball trying to get ahead of him on the first pitch. And that was the one that Eldridge blasted over the head of the center fielder for a double. And he never saw a fastball this time. Changeup, curveball, backdoor slider. Now Schmidt. Wow, he chased a sinker way off the inside. And Schmidt, who hit a double back in the second inning, and he has been in a sort of profound swing mode ever since. Adames, the runner at first, pickoff throw over there, and he dives safely back. Burleson on the bag with him. Day off tomorrow for the Giants, and then the Fan Appreciation Weekend will commence on Friday night. Final night game of the year at home, 7:15, and then day games on Saturday and Sunday. There's a swing and a miss. And that was a curve that broke off the outside. So Schmidt had not seen a strike yet, and he swung at both of them. 0-2. The annual Willie Mack Award will be presented as the Giants' most inspirational player prior to the Friday game against the Rockies. Always a lot of fun, and tells you a lot about the current personnel. Now there's a ball too high on the outside. Be in your seats by 6:45 on Friday to enjoy the pregame ceremony. Current players Matt Chapman and Wilmer Flores, of course, have won the award before, but former Giants who've won it, like Mike Krukow, Buster Posey, J.T. Snow, Mark Gardner, Nick Hundley. There goes the runner. The pitch is taken. The throw down to second, and he's out. So Adames' perfect throw there by Pedro Pajes. Catches Willie Adames, and man, he put it right on the bag. Hard to make a better throw than that. Willie went in with a foot first slide, and the throw is gloved right at the corner of the bag, and he just put it right, like textbook. Put it down at the corner of the bag, and he slid right into it. No question about it. That was Donovan. Now a swing and a line drive in the left field, base hit. Man, he had swung and missed at a couple of pitches there that ended up out of the zone. And then that one, he blasted at 107 miles an hour. And that's the second hit of the game for Casey Schmidt. Here it is. Jung-Hoo Lee takes curveball for a called strike. Schmidt's first hit was a double in the second inning, and got it over the head of Nootbaar. 99 miles an hour, that one, but this one he hit a lot harder. Now here's another curve down and in, and a big swing and a miss by Lee, who he's also up there in swing mode here. He got a first pitch curveball. It ended up over the plate, and that was called a strike. And now this one was way out of the zone. That's the one he swung at. Now a check swing. Did he go? No. It was a slider down, and he started and then stopped. And the third base umpire, Malachi Moore, was asked to weigh in. 1-2. Giants 3, Cardinals 2. 2 down, runner at first. By the way, to get your tickets for the Friday night game, a 7:15 game, and get here early for the Willie Mack Award, you can learn more about the ceremonies and get your tickets at sfgiants.com/Willie Mack. There's a swing and a ground ball to second. Far to his right goes Donovan. Here's the throw to first, just in time to get the fast-moving Jung-Hoo Lee. He hit it where Donovan was not, who was playing him way over to pull toward first, but he just didn't hit it hard.
Before he was feared on the field, Ronald Acuña Jr. was chasing wins on a different kind of field. For the Acuñas, el béisbol was a story told in fastballs and late-night rematches. Every loading screen was a part of the strategy. Smash de botones. Smash de jonrones. That's how La Bestia was born.
Anytime we can put on these uniforms, the same ones that those guys played before us in the Negro Leagues, it's an honor to put it on and to share this field with them.
It's a piece of history, so I mean, to be able to wear it present day is honestly an unreal feeling.
Once the lights are on and the anthem takes place and you're standing there on the line, it'll sink in as to what this moment really means, because I do think it's a meaningful day.
Through September 28th for their fall clearance sales event. Take advantage of one-of-a-kind opportunities at the Friedman's Appliance Fall Clearance Sales Event, the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
Back to Orange and Black Bats Crackin' on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Now here is a called strike to Nolan Arenado. Giants 3 and the Cardinals 2. We're in the sixth inning now. Arenado has lined out to third and grounded out to third. Now he hits a ground ball to second. Fielded cleanly by Koss, who throws him out. Well, he didn't pull that one. He pulled a couple of balls to third. One was a line shot turned into a nice lunging catch by Casey Schmidt. Night off for Matt Chapman, who's had this kind of recurring issue with his hand for a big part of the year, even when he's not been on the injured. He's had a couple of trips to the injured list besides. Night off tonight. Tomorrow is a day off in the schedule. Here's a slider low for ball one now to Nootbaar, who has struck out and walked. Giants 3, Cardinals 2. Sixth inning. Cardinals have 4 hits. The Giants have 7. Now the pitch. Down and in with a cutter. 2-0. Rafi Devers has hit a home run into San Francisco Bay, the only home run of the game so far. His 34th home run this year. Now the ball just off the outside with a sinker. 3-0. So Jayze is on deck. I remember watching you do the World Baseball Classic, the last one they had. Here's the pitch now. That is in for a strike. And Nootbaar, he was a pretty popular player over in the Far East.
Team Japan. Learned to speak some Japanese. I think it's his grandmother who is from Japan.
3-1 pitch. in for a called strike. And that was down and in, borderline.
His teammates on that team definitely got a big kick. I mean, he played hard. He's a really good player. They were happy to have him for those reasons. But he also seemed to just fit in with the group, a bunch of guys, almost none of whom he knew at all.
And one of them was named Shohei Ohtani.
It was a pretty familiar name.
3-2 the count. Here it is. Strike three called on the outside corner. So Nootbaar gets called out after two different times he thought he had a walk. So 2 down. Here is Sajese.
I have to think that was a pretty cool experience for him to be on that team with. I mean, it was Shohei, it was Yamamoto, it was Roki Sasaki, it was all kinds of stars, and they ended up winning the whole thing. So that must have been really fun.
So now here is Sajese, and the right-handed hitter hits a foul high in the air off to the right, well back into the second deck. 0-1 the count. Well, and then Shohei Ohtani ended up winning the big game for Team Japan and struck out his then Angels teammate Mike Trout from Team USA to end it. It was sort of a made-for-television ending to that whole thing.
It felt like it was rigged, but it wasn't. It just happened that way.
There's a ball missing. 1-1 the count to Sajese. 3-2. The Giants leading. 6th inning. Here it is. Off the outside for a ball.
I think Mark DeRosa and his crew is signed up to manage Team USA in next spring's World Baseball Classic again.
Yeah, he managed them last time around. Here's the pitch, just a little bit low around the outside, but too low, and the count is 3-1. DeRosa. Some people think maybe DeRosa might be a big league manager one day. There's a swing and a foul off to the left. Right now he's a TV star, and of course, a longtime major league player. And Aaron Boone was a TV star too, and you worked with him a lot on ESPN baseball.
David Ross did TV and then was hired as a manager. Whoa.
Is this a clock violation?
Wow.
A clock violation to Sajese, and that's strike 3. And he's there arguing with Paul Clemens. It's the pitch clock violation. Ali Marmol comes out, and they're going to have a little discussion.
Some call it orgullo. Others call it el corazón taíno. But sometimes the journey is set on track with your ancestors cheering you on. For Francisco Lindor, el ting-ting de la plena was the first roar in the stands. Every at-bat was an encore. Every strike of the drum echoed like a promise. El destino no siempre avisa, pero llega con flow.
Remodeling or simply dreaming big, the Home Show has it all. Explore seasonal trends, innovative designs, and endless possibilities. October 3rd through the 5th at the Alameda County Fairgrounds.
Now back to John and Dave on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
There's a swing and a foul tip by Christian Koss on the first pitch from Sonny Gray as we start the last of the 6th inning. The Giants with a 3-2 lead. We just saw something we don't see very often, a pitch clock violation by the hitter. We've seen that plenty of times, but this time it came with 2 strikes on Sajese, and so it was strike 3. Now curveball lifted high in the air out into deep right center field to the big part of the yard, back onto the warning track. Scott near the wall jumps and makes the catch. Man, did that ball carry. And that was about midway between the 391 in straightaway center and the 415 in very deep right center, and it just kept on going. A high fly ball, and Scott had to go back and finally had to jump to catch it. 1 away. That off the bat of Koss, 101 miles an hour. They say it went 393. Although, for me, it's got to be a little bit deeper than that, doesn't it? If it's midway between the 391 and the 415. like I'm a math whiz. Sure. Here's a check swing after Gilbert started and then thought differently, but ruled a swing, and the count is 0-2. He had already had one strike on it.
So, like, we should get the protractor out or something like that, start doing some calculations?
Yeah, get it the sextant.
Oh, sure.
And he wasn't at the wall. He was still a few feet from the wall. Near the wall, though. There's a swing, a slow tap up the first base side. Over to get it is Burleson. Underhand feed to the pitcher. Gray covering in time for the out. And Gilbert is now 0 for 3. 3 ground ball outs. We're coming to you live from the Hawaiian Airlines broadcast booth here at Oracle Park. Here's the leaderboard update, sponsored by Bank of America, proud sponsor of the Junior Giants, helping inspire tomorrow's leaders on and off the field. The Giants, of course, got eliminated from any possible postseason play last night. But we're still very interested because there's some good races still going on. Here's Kisner, the right-handed batter, and a swinging strike one. A sinker that ran down and in and a little bit out of the zone at the knees. The New York Mets, the third and final wild card spot, and they lost in Chicago to the Cubs 10-3. Matt Boyd got the win over Tong, the rookie. But Cincinnati lost its game in extra innings to Pittsburgh. Second game in a row they lost to the Pirates at home. 4-3 the final. So the Reds remain one game behind them. And in Phoenix, the D-backs, who a couple of quick outs in this inning. He was 85 pitches through the fifth inning. Elliot Ramos on deck. Now a ground ball to short on another breaking ball. Fielded by Sajazi's low throw to first is dropped by Burleson. And Kisner is safe. Sajazi, he had the catcher running. So I don't know that he had to. The ball would not hit very hard, but he made a low throw, but it did not bounce before it got to the glove. It kind of rattled around in the big first baseman's trapper glove and then just fell out. So an error on Burleson. Third error charged to the Cardinals, and here is Elliot Ramos, who is 1 for 3, and he takes the ball way outside with a cutter. Ramos is struck out, grounded into a force play, and then he got a base hit to center in the fourth inning. Kisner away from first, 3-2 Giants, and there's a ball in the dirt blocked by the Cardinal catcher, Pages. 2-0. That game in Arizona now has gone to the seventh inning. The Dodgers are leading the D-backs 3-1. By the way, that last pitch ended up in the dirt out in front of the plate, and the catcher, Pages, saved it from being a wild pitch with his bare hand. And he is kind of shaking his hand right now, and it hurts. And the umpire giving him a little extra time now to shake that off. 2-0 the count to Ramos. Devers on deck. Cardinal bullpen is busy. There is a called strike. Didn't have to be a cutter around the outside. Good pitch to take by Elliot Ramos. Close, right? Borderline pitch. Leahy, a right-hander. King, a lefty, warming up in the Cardinal bullpen. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that was the big curveball. And he kept his hands back, tried to wait. He could not make contact with it. Ended up right over the middle of the plate. 2-2 with 2 down. Giants 3, Cardinals 2. Runner at first. 2-2 pitch. And that is in there with his knees buckling. Strike 3 called. We head to the seventh. Pages, Walker, and Scott.
Before he was feared on the field, Ronald Acuna Jr. was chasing wins on a different kind of field. For the Acuñas, el béisbol was a story told in fastballs and late-night rematches. Every loading screen was a part of the strategy. Smash de botones. Smash de jonrones. That's how La Bestia was born.
Business insurance options to cover your small business needs and more. Visit Progressive.com today.
Now back to Giants Gloves Poppin' on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Three to two Giants as we go to the seventh inning. Cardinals coming up and back in to paint verbal pictures of the action as it happens. Here is Dave Fleming.
Carson Seymour, John, is still on the mound for the Giants, and he misses with ball one outside to Pages. Pages facing somebody other than J.T. Brubaker. He struck out twice against Brubaker. Now Seymour misses low with ball two. Giants don't have a ton of fresh available pitching tonight. And they didn't use his traditional starter. Here's the 2-0. Pages takes that one high, 3-0. So we'll see if Seymour can keep going. That was his 33rd pitch. He's fallen behind 3-0 to the first hitter of the seventh. Here's a strike. Seventh inning is where it fell apart for the Giants last night. Remember, the Giants came into the seventh inning last night leading 8-3. Tonight it's 3-2. The pitch. Pages chops one on the ground to short, charging in Adames. He fields, throws to first in time to get the catcher. One out. Nice job by Carson Seymour there to come back after he had fallen behind 3-0. Now the batter will be the eighth place hitter, Jordan Walker. Top of the seventh, as always, sponsored by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Ready to elevate your weekend? Experience thrilling gaming action and unmatched luxury at Cache Creek Casino Resort. Your ultimate getaway is just a short drive away. Here's a ball outside to Walker. 1-0 the count to him. Giants with a 3-2 lead. The pitch. Down and away with a four-seamer at 97 miles an hour. 2-0. Well, we gave Seymour credit for bouncing back after falling behind 3-0 to the previous hitter. Now he's fallen behind 2-0.
we've recovered millions for injury victims. From fender benders to major accidents, we swing big. Call 866-465-2999 or visit amb.law.
Now back to the Orange and Black on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Matt Gage takes over for the Giants. 8th inning. Giants lead the Cardinals 3-2. Here's John.
Left-hander facing the left-handed batter. And Donovan takes a called strike with a slider. 33rd game of the year for Matt Gage with the Giants. 2.93 ERA. Now a swing and a foul off to the left into the upper deck. That was another slider up. Donovan has been robbed of a hit. A diving play going toward the middle of the diamond, but the second baseman Koss leading off the game in the first and doubled, knocking in a run, and then he's grounded out to short. Now he swings and misses at the first fastball shown him by Gage. Strike three. 93-mile-an-hour heater after a couple of sliders for strikes. Now here is Ivan Herrera. Pretty good job tonight, Dave, by Carson Seymour. Faced 10 Cardinals and allowed only one base runner. It was a walk to Herrera back in the 5th inning. After that, he retired the last 7 guys in a row.
Yeah, no hits allowed. It was a very good job.
Struck out 4 in 3 innings, 1 walk. There's ball 1 now to Herrera. Got to be real careful with this guy. Now a changeup in there for a called strike.
And there was something about tonight's game where his misses were off the plate. And look, he fell behind some hitters. Not great.
1-1 pitch, and that's down and in with a slider. Or I guess maybe a changeup. 2-1.
But it's kind of what we were talking about earlier with Carson Seymour, where so often this year the misses have been right down the middle, and those have just gotten punished. Tonight, I think he was much more careful with where he was missing.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. That is in for a called strike, knee high with a fastball. 2-2. Well, I think that's a good point. That's been the Achilles heel in the past for Seymour. The wildness in the strike zone. 2-2 the count. Now timeout is asked for. And Herrera backs away.
You know, it was a few weeks ago when we were having one of our conversations with Buster Posey, and he was saying, you know, we really think highly of Carson Seymour. I'd be curious just to see him have an outing or two where he just threw the hard sinker down over and over again.
There's a changeup, bounce foul off to the left.
I didn't know you were going to respond so emotionally to that suggestion, but
well, he did it, Dave. That's what he did. Although I thought he used the cutter, a cut fastball pretty well against some lefties. Here's a foul. Ouch. Down off the leg of Herrera, who hit the deck afterward. Then he jumped up, and now he's limping around. Painful. 2-2 the count. Hit that one. Ooh. He got a partial shin guard over his lower left shin, and the foul ball hit maybe right at the top of the shin guard and the top of the left side of that left shin. Painful.
Ouch.
2-2 the count.
And just continuing our little conversation about Carson Seymour, and I think that was Buster's point, the kind of the one you're making, is it wasn't like, oh, we don't want you to ever use all your other stuff. It's more like, man, you potentially have a great big league weapon here. Let's kind of emphasize that one.
2-2 pitch. Off the outside with a fastball. Full count now to Herrera, who's had an RBI single tonight. He's also walked. 1 hit, 2 at bats. Burleson, big left-handed hitter, is on deck. 3-2 Giants. And here's a ground ball back through the middle. Hits the top of the mound and skips over the bag into center. Base hit. So he was unable to put him away. The Cardinals had the possible tying run aboard. And Burleson coming up. Left-handed hitter. And Nolan Arenado, the right-handed hitter, behind him. The catcher, Kisner, out to the mound to talk to Gage. This is a Habas Law mound visit. 3-2 Giants in the 8th inning. Giants have a right-hander, Jose Butteau, warming up in the bullpen now. I wondered if tonight maybe he seemed to use that. I thought he used that cutter more often than he's used it in the past, and maybe in place of throwing that slider so often. But when he did throw the slider, it I think usually ended up breaking out of the strike zone. It's just the way you generally want to use it. So here's Burleson, runner at first, and he drives one into right field. Going back is Gilbert. It sails over his head, one hop against the wall near the 365 marker. He plays the carom, relays it into the second baseman, Koss, into third, and stopping is Herrera. A double for Burleson. So the lefty facing the left-handed hitter, and Burleson ends up first ball swinging on a slider that was just above the knees, right out over the heart of the plate. And he hit it hard. So the Cardinals are threatening now. They've got the possible tying run at third, the possible go-ahead run at second, both in scoring position. And the guy who has hurt the Giants so many times for so many years, Nolan Arenado, the right-handed hitter, coming up.
Before he was feared on the field, Ronald Acuna Jr. was chasing wins on a different kind of field. For the Acuñas, el béisbol was a story told in fastballs and late-night rematches. Every loading screen was a part of the strategy. Smash de botones. Smash de jonrones. That's how La Bestia was born.
There's been a lot of that this year with the Yankees. Aaron Judge, just another amazing season. I'm glad I don't have an MVP vote in the American League this year, because that's a tough choice. Cal Raleigh hit his 59th, and he's been maybe the best defensive catcher in the league, and now Judge is having another just remarkable year. All right, back to this game. 3-2 Giants, but 2 on with 1 out, and Buteau in for the bullpen.
The infield comes in. The pitch to Arenado is down and away, backhanded out of the dirt by Kisner. Arenado tonight is lined out to third, and a lunging backhanded grab was made by Schmidt. He is grounded out to third and grounded out to second. 3-2 Giants. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Here's the pitch. And he yanks that fastball off the outside, 97 miles an hour, but well off the corner. 2-0. Another left-handed hitter is on deck, Lars Nootbaar. Two-0 pitch. Swing and a foul off to the right. That was a high slider on the outside. It did break off the corner at the last, and Arenado looking for something up. He didn't want to hit a ground ball. Looking for something up. He went after it, but fouled it off into the seats to the right. 2-1 the count. Again, Buteau sets. He throws. There's a shot deep into center. Going back is Lee. As he gets near the track, he squares up to make the catch. Both runners tag up. Scoring from third is Herrera. Going to third is Burleson. The Cardinals have tied the game. It is 3-3. That one faded very quickly, but as soon as it left the bat, you knew it was going to get at least Herrera home, which is the way it played out. So it is 3-3. Now Nootbaar comes up. Runner at third, the possible go-ahead run. Riley O'Brien, a right-hander, who ended up getting the save last night, getting the final out in the ninth inning, is up in the Cardinal bullpen. 3-3, eighth inning. The pitch. Did he swing? Yes. On appeal, Malachi Moore, the third base umpire, said that was a swing. Nootbaar has struck out, walked, and struck out again. So Bouteau into his stretch. Delivers. And the slider is low on the outside for a ball. 32,409 has been announced as the paid attendance this evening here at Oracle Park. This three-game series has drawn more than 100,000 fans for these 3 weeknight games. There's a ball too low, a changeup. Now it's 2-1 to Nootbaar, and he's got the right-handed hitter due up next, Sajese, although Cardinals have 3 left-handed hitters available on their bench. 2-1 the count to the dangerous Nootbaar. Here it comes. And that's a ball. And Kisner was trying to frame that pitch, maybe steal a strike, and it ended up just kind of banging off his glove and rolling to his left. He had all kinds of trouble with it. So it's 3-1. Here it is. And that's off the outside with a changeup. So he ultimately ends up, at least it appeared, he ends up pitching around the left-handed hitter. And now Sajese will go up there to bat for himself. He has grounded out to third, singled, and then with a 3-2 count in the 6th inning, he ended up being called out for a pitch clock violation, which was the automatic strike 3. Runners at first and third. He's trying to knock in the go-ahead run for the Cardinals, and he swings late at a fastball away. Strike 1, 96 miles an hour, right in the outside corner, belled high. 3-3. A run is in here in the 8th. Charge to Gage. Now Bouteau pitches, fouled back to the screen. Had a good rip at a high fastball. That was right out over the middle of the plate, but it was up. Several inches above the belt. And now it's 0-2. The runner at third, Burleson, belongs to Gage. The runner at first, Nootbaar, is Bouteau's doing. First and third, 2 down. Here it comes. Ground ball down the third base side. It is foul, and it is booted over there by Schmidt, who gloved it behind the bag, but it was immediately called a foul ball. That was right down the line, and it kicked off foul just before getting to third base, which I think at this point is kind of to the relief of Casey Schmidt. It did kick into foul ground. And it could be that the umpires were both shouting, the third base umpire and even the home plate umpire, when he saw the third base umpire making the call right about the time that he was trying to field it. Still 0-2 to Sajese. Cardinals 1 hit and 3 at bats for the night with runners in scoring position. They haven't had many chances in this scenario. They also got the sacrifice fly in this inning by Arenado. Burleson, a possible go-ahead run at third. Nootbaar over at first. And Eldridge on the bag with him. 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck it out with a high, hard one up above the belt. If the Cardinals get the tying run, it's 3-3. To the last of the 8th we go. Cross, Gilbert, Kisner. The last third of the Giants batting order coming up on the KNBR, Northern California.
Some call it orgullo. Others call it el corazón taíno. But sometimes the journey is set on track with your ancestors cheering you on. For Francisco Lindor, el ting-ting de la plena was the first roar in the stands. Every at-bat was an encore. Every strike of the drum echoed like a promise. El destino no siempre avisa, pero llega con flow.
I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's like about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
Occasions are participating until Tuesday.
Back to Orange and Black Bats Kraken on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Now the Giants are the last of the 8th inning. Christian Koss leads off against the new pitcher, Riley O'Brien. Tall, skinny right-hander, misses very high at 97 miles an hour. Ball 1. Koss has walked. He was safe on a drop fly ball, but the right fielder Walker scored a run and flied out deep to right center his last time. Now he takes called strike right on the outside corner at 96 miles per hour. Giants 3, Cardinals 3, last of the 8th. Giants have 9 hits in the game. The Cardinals have 6. Cardinals have also made 3 errors. 1-1 pitch. And that's too high. Another fastball. 2-1. Drew Gilbert is out on deck. The catcher, Kisner, due up third, although we saw Bailey down in the dugout grabbing a bat. There's a swing and a pop-up. Foul to the right of the plate, coming over with the catcher Pajes, and he runs out of room. The ball is over the net into the crowd. And we'll pause here for station identification on the KNBR Northern California Honda Dealers Radio Network.
This is Giants baseball. Nothing like it.
There's a long drive to right. It's headed for the base.
On KNBR and KNBR FM, San Francisco, a Cumulus media station.
Giants 3, Cardinals 3. 2-2 the count to Koss, and the pitch. Reach for and rolled foul. First base side goes beyond first base coach Mark Hallberg and headed down the right field line. The count is 2-2. Koss has been on base 3 times and he hit the ball very well his last time out into deep right center. It was caught on the warning track right in front of the wall by Scott, who had to jump at the last to make sure he got it. Again, O'Brien sets, throws way outside with the curveball at 84 miles an hour. O'Brien, 6 feet 4 inches tall, out of the College of Idaho. 30 years old. And he throws hard, very long legs. Sets, 3-2 pitch. Fastball punched over the head of Burleson into shallow right, and the throw to first, not in time, with the pitcher O'Brien covering from the second baseman Donovan. Koss just muscled it over the head of Burleson, the first baseman. And behind him, cutting to his left in shallow outfield, was Donovan. He picked it up and he fired to O'Brien, who had hustled over. And he stretched out like a first base. He's a big guy, very tall, but Koss, who has excellent speed, was already there. Infield hit. And now Gilbert. And he's not bunting. He takes down and in. The Cardinals, though, thought he was. And the third baseman, Nolan Arenado, he was halfway down the line from third when that pitch ended up being taken for a ball. First baseman Burleson on the bag with Koss. Now the stretch. Now the pitch. Swing and the ground ball hits sharply right at Burleson. And he had a hard time maintaining control of that one. Cocked the arm as if to throw to second, then thought better of it. And he gets the unassisted out at first, so Koss has been moved over to second. One away. Gilbert is now 0 for 4, 4 ground ball outs. It looked like at first that Burleson was going to make that play to second. He actually cocked the arm, and then he just decided, no, something bad might happen. Now here's a slider to Kisner, and a strike. He tried to check his swing, couldn't do it. Kisner has walked, hit a sacrifice fly, knocked in the Giants' third run of the game. That was in the 4th inning. and reached on an error by Burleson his last time. Giants have not scored since the fourth inning, since Kisner hit the sacrifice fly. 3-3, last of the eighth. Base hit could mean a run. The pitch. Swing, line drive into center field. That is in there, and it goes right on by Scott. It rolls all the way to the center field wall. Scoring easily, Koss. Heading for third is Kisner. The throw's finally coming in from the right fielder in front of the Cardinal bullpen, Walker, and it's a triple for Kisner. What a night for him against his old team, the Cardinals, and he's been one of the Giants' top offensive stars in this game. 4-3, the Giants are back ahead. Now, Grant McCray is going to go over to third as a runner for Kisner. That was a liner, and Scott decided to go for it, and he did not get that close to it. He made a dive, and it bounced several feet in front of him and right on by him. If Kisner had any speed at all, I think that would have been the inside-the-park home run. Now Ramos, and he fouls one back to the screen against O'Brien with a high sinker at 99 miles an hour.
Well, fun, and I'm sure a great thrill for Kisner. You're right. It's just a great night for him against his old team. It's a big extra run if the Giants could get this one home.
Infield is in, and Ramos chops one back to the pitcher. He looks McCray back to third and throws out Ramos at first. So disappointing at bat for Ramos, because the last thing in the world he wanted there was a ground ball. And that's what he got. And he was up there in swing mode. Ramos swung at a sinker that was way up out of the strike zone. And then he got that sinker that was belled high, and it was, I think, a pitch that you'd want to swing at. Now they give the automatic walk to Rafi Devers. So he goes over to first. They set up the platoon advantage, right-hander facing right-hander. Here is Adames. 4-3 Giants. Runners at first and third, and a swinging strike, and he chased. Man, everybody's swinging at everything here after the runner got to third. He's thrown 3 pitches. They've all been swings. 0-1 the count. And the pitch. Way outside with a fastball. Backhanded grab by Pages, the catcher. 1 run is in on a triple by Kisner. McCray, the pinch runner, at third. Devers, the runner, at first. Burleson plays on the bag with him. Here it is. Swinging a ground ball to third. Over to his left. Arenado's got it. Flips it to second. Donovan covering for the out. And the Giants unable to get that guy home. It's been that kind of a night for the Giants.
Some call it orgullo. Others call it el corazón taíno. But sometimes the journey is set on track with your ancestors cheering you on. For Francisco Lindor, el ting-ting de la plena was the first roar in the stands. Every at-bat was an encore. Every strike of the drum echoed like a promise. El destino no siempre avisa, pero llega con flow.
Dolan Law Firm is just as diverse in our attorneys and staff. The Dolan Law Firm consistently achieves outstanding results with over $1 billion in verdicts and settlements.
The Dolan Law Firm, the best, most diverse personal injury and employment law firm we hope you'll never need.
Contact us at dolanlawfirm.com.
Now back to Giants Gloves Poppin' on KNBR 104.5 and 680.
Tristan Beck in a safe situation. Giants 4, Cardinals 3, and he misses with a hard slider off the outside to Pedro Pages. Grant McCray stays in to play left field, and Patrick Bailey now catching for the Giants. Now there's a high fastball that misses. 2-0. McCray came in for Kisner as a runner at third base. So he's in the 9th spot where he came in. And then Bailey in the spot formerly occupied by Ramos, the leadoff spot. Now here's a sinker over the outer third of the plate for a called strike. Bouteau got the final 2 outs in the 8th inning. So now here is Beck, and timeout is asked for at the plate. The stretch. Beck throws. Swing and a foul tip. Man, that was nasty. That was headed right for the outer part of the plate, and then it broke at the last minute and just off the zone at 92 miles an hour. 2-2 the count. Again, the stretch. Beck to the plate. And a hard curveball that bounces in the dirt. 3-2. Walker, Jordan Walker, powerful right-handed hitter, is on deck. Giants holding a 4-3 lead here in the 9th inning. And Beck throws. Ground ball past him out toward the middle and into center field, a base hit. He didn't hit it well. Hit the left side of the pitcher's mound, but Adames was playing him to pull and could not recover to go get that ball. He was way over into the hole toward third. So now Nathan Church goes into run for Pages at first, representing the possible tying run. And here is the powerful young right-handed batter, Jordan Walker. And back to the plate. And he drops a curveball, a beauty in there for a called strike.
Meanwhile, down in Arizona, the Diamondbacks came into the bottom of the 8th inning trailing 4-1. Alex Vesia came in from the Dodgers bullpen.
Beck delivers. And on the outside with a fastball, strike 2 called.
Marte, Perdomo, Carroll all reach base. Carroll with the double. Knock in a run. Then an infield hit drove in a run. Then Del Castillo just hit a sac fly to tie the game.
So 3 runs in there so far, and a 4-1 Dodger lead has turned into a 4-4 tie. McCann, the catcher, is the batter now. Here's the stretch. 2-strike pitch. Reached for and fouled out of play off to the right. That was a slider that the sweeping breaking ball. It just went off the outside corner, but it was up a little bit. So in the desperation mode, the big right-handed batter, Walker, was able to foul it away. Still 0-2. Beck will try it again. Ready, delivers. Fastball grounded to second, hit slowly. Cross goes over, steps on the bag, 1, goes over to first, 2, a double play. Adames was there, but in the final analysis, Cross decided I better go and make the play myself, not risk making an exchange. So he had just a couple of steps, went over, stepped in the bag, spun, and fired to first and got Walker. And Walker, he moves pretty well. And he got him by plenty at first base. So 2 down, nobody on. And here comes the speedy Scott. The Giants, meanwhile, call for timeout, and they are having a Habas Law mound visit. The Giants ahead 4-3. Now the Cardinals are sending up a pinch hitter for Scott. Interesting, with a right-hander in the game. They are sending Fermin, a right-handed batter, out to pinch it for the left-handed batting Scott. Fermin, who has hit really well, and he's hit well against the Giants. Runner nowhere. There's a bunt, third base side, racing in. Schmidt, the throw to first. He got him, and the game is over. Fermin, with 2 down, tried to bunt his way aboard, and bunted it a little bit too hard right along the third base line. And the charge by Schmidt, he got to it, and while still on the move, bent down, took the ball out of the glove, made a sidearm throw to first. Very nice play by Casey Schmidt to bring this one to an end and get Tristan Beck a save. So the Giants beat the Cardinals.